Welcome to Fashionable Trash Talk. I'm your host, Ashley Aaliyah. Here I analyze and discuss the fashion of celebrities and anyone influential. On today's episode of Fashionable Trash Talk, I will be covering the icon, the legend, Lil Kim. This is my Cancer sis. This is my girl. I love Kim. And let me just get this out the way because people always be trying to throw shade at my girl. Okay, yes, the plastic surgery may have not always been the best, but half the girls now getting plastic surgery ain't good either. So we're going to get that out the way before y'all try to have them little jokes. Also, we know my girl got a few issues with colorism, but we also know that stems from a lot of the relationships she's had with men who were abusive and things like that. So we do not have to talk about the plastic surgeries or the issues with colorism. Now that is out the way, let's get into my girl. Kim has been in the industry since 94 and did not take her foot off of our necks. I think one of the funniest things, you know how all the people come tell their stories now? What always stuck with me is the story that Faith Evans told and saying that she used to try to give Kim clothes or fashion advice or something like that. And I always think it's funny because Kim, there has never been a point in history where Faith Evans has looked better or dressed better than Lil Kim. And again, we ain't going to get into the whole Biggie, whatever, but I always find that funny. Since day one, people have been trying to discredit Kim and her impact. And everybody knows, or they may not know, that a lot of what fueled the beef between Kim and Foxy is basically Kim felt like Foxy was trying to steal some of her style. Because even if you look at Kim's first album and Foxy's first album, it was like an outfit that they both wore. So that's kind of what really started that. But let's get into Kim. Her fashion from the 90s was just such peak New York, where it truly solidified and stamped New York women as being one of the leading women in fashion. I don't think we've ever seen designer worn like that from such an urban place, because she's from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. And it was just, like, we all know that sexuality was a huge part of Kim's brand. And rap, Kim came in at a time where a lot of the rap was in women's rap, some of it was risque. I think the most risque was probably like Salt and Pepper, but it was all about the women being covered up and looking a certain type of way, the dashikis and the kente cloths and all that type of stuff. So Kim came in the game and really shook everything up and took it in a whole different direction. So here you got this girl from the hood, but she's giving top-notch, fresh off the runway fashion. And then her lyrics are vulgar. The rap is vulgar. Like, everything is just sexualized. It was just so different. And I don't think people realized how much pushback Kim actually got at the time for doing that. Like, it was so against everything that was going on. And how, like, the fit of her clothes, like, she was all about showing her body and sexuality. And this was a time when rap girlies wasn't really into fashion. Everything was about just the music. Hardcore album, I think we've got some of Kim's most iconic looks, between the different color wigs, the furs, just the luxury. Like, that album, first of all, is one of the top rap albums ever, men and women included. But just the video work and fashion that we've got from that album, you still see that direct influence today. And Kim even took her fashion a step further, and she kind of crossed over into more of that popish, rockish type of fashion, if you will. And her and Misa truly built relationships with fashion houses. And we just started to see Kim just wear pieces that nobody else was like wearing before. And in ways that nobody was wearing before. And the reason why it was just so impactful, because again, you got this girl that's from around the way that is literally going into spaces that were previously like gatekept from us. It's like, yeah, you may have seen a black woman in those spaces if they were like a Naomi Campbell or a Tyra Banks, but you're not really seeing this petite black girl that's from the hood and still got this thick New York accent in these type of places. And I think this is when we really started to see black urban culture really start to be appreciated in spaces that were a little unorthodox for us to see it. And the music that she made paired with the fashion collaborations, like Kim really like broke the entire ceiling of what the potential could be for black women, especially black girls from around the way in the fashion world. And then let's not even get into the hair, the makeup. Like she was just doing things that you didn't traditionally see people doing. Like, again, we all know one of her most iconic hairstyles is the bangs, and she got the designer logos in her bangs. It was just so dope. And again, circling back to rap now, it's you still see her impact and influence now in everything that the girls do. Not just the music. It's mostly the fashion that you really see it. And then it's just like then it continued to revolutionize because, people had moments where, oh, she about to fall off, she this, she that. Like her collaborations with Mac, Baby Fat, Iceberg, Candies. I know I'm missing a few. She had a watch line with Jacob the Jeweler. Like it was just, she had her own brand that she was trying to do, the Hollywood brand. So it was just so much that Kim did that she just never got her flowers for. And we all know the iconic look when she had her boob out and Diana Ross got to jiggle her boob and stuff like that. Like, it was just so many things that Kim did where it was just like, I wouldn't even thought of that. And then even when you get into her music videos, just the cameos, her cameos that you've seen her in other people's music videos or movies, or she even lended her voice to video games. It's like everything she did was iconic. How do you even make going to prison fashionable? Like, Kim was it. And I think what people don't realize or appreciate enough about Kim is that now all the rap and R&B girls are trying to find their footing and their balance in fashion, and everybody's breaking their necks to be in it. But when Kim did it, it was a big no-no. Like, she wasn't supposed to be doing all that. I mean, I love Eve down, but Eve threw a shot at her and Let Me Blow Your Mind song about her being into fashion more than she was into music. So it's like, I think people think that like a lot of these things were normal, and it wasn't. Like it wasn't normal until Kim made it normal. And then if you look at all the other rap girlies, like Kim been doing it, and then by the time they start doing it, it's just like, then y'all just catching up. And I'm saying that in the sense of like Foxy, Eve, those are the first two that comes to my head, where it's just like you kind of seen their style starting to gradually change, and you see them trying to be around certain fashion houses and stuff like that. But understand, all those things were only possible because of Kim. Like, the girls really wasn't caring about wearing designers or having their little Chanel glasses. Like, even if you listen to the rap, like, Kim has some of the dopest bars when it comes to incorporating fashion into music. That was stamped and solidified by Kim. Now you hear the girls and the guys all doing it. That's Kim flow. Anytime you hear somebody try to drop something about the designer X, Y, and Z, Kim, and then I'll throw a nod at Biggie too. Like, that's like, that was their whole thing. Like, everybody wasn't on that. Everybody wasn't into that, and I just feel like Kim never properly gets her flowers. But I feel like so many people try to take from her. There are so many careers that were built off of her. Oh, Trina's another person I wanted to say, like, they broke, based off of Kim influence, was another person who took their high fashion lane too, because Kim, opened it up for all the girls to be able to do that. And Kim also was like a girl's girl. We all know, like, ladies now, I think they call her Not Tonight now. The Lady Marmalade. Like, I think one of my favorite music videos is No Matter What People Say. Like, that video is it. And just like the fashion and how she gave it, like, Kim just always gave runway girly. And again, people make so many jokes about her plastic surgery or certain things, but you can't go down your timeline without seeing a girl in a 613 wig. Where you think all the black girlies start wearing these blonde wigs from? That's Kim. The pink wigs, the blue wigs, the green wigs. That's Kim. Y'all, I feel like it'd be so much commentary about her. But the color contacts, Kim. The beat faces, the makeup, and trying all the different types of looks, Kim. The plastic surgeries, again, y'all will not take your foot off her neck about the boob jobs, the abs, the butt, the nose. Like, y'all have so much to say about her plastic surgery. And meanwhile, I literally just on TikTok, and for like 2 minutes, it was nothing but girls talking about recovering from BBLs or lipo. But again, that's one of y'all biggest critiques when it comes to Lil Kim, which absolutely does not make sense to me, because y'all are literally doing the same thing. And even like if we get into the colorism conversation, yeah, sometimes my girls be tripping, but we're not going to act like y'all don't be out here bleaching your skin and y'all don't be out here wearing lighter foundations. I'm not going to get into it, but it's this one specific rapper. I used to work at MAC, and when she said she wore a certain foundation color at MAC and I seen her skin, automatically in my head, I'm like, homegirl's lying. She must want to look lighter. So it's like, I feel like Kim gets critiqued so much for things that y'all don't critique other people for that they are also actively doing. But Kim, like the Met Gala looks, award show looks, red carpet looks, like flawless, 10s across the board. And I also hate that Biggie may have started her career, and yes, he may have did some ghostwriting on the first album and things like that. But what Kim, the impact and influence that Kim created even after he was gone is 100% Kim. 100% her. So it's just like, I think it's safe to say that we can give Kim her flowers for solidifying her own career and taking her career to that next level. It's like, yeah, he may have opened the door, but Kim is the one who elevated everything. And I think that she has one of the longest relationships with her stylist, because we know Misa, man, I have a picture of them hanging over my bar. And the things that her and Misa was able to do should be put like in a museum. I feel like Misa for women's fashion is like what June Ambrose has been to men's fashion. And we know June Ambrose has done both women and men's, but I think like Misa and June Ambrose have done so much for the culture that's like rarely acknowledged. Like, they're starting to get their flowers a little bit more now, but even to date, I don't think we have seen another female rapper and stylist collaboration that has come close to Misa and Kim. And I can't even give it to Cardi and Colin, although their work is amazing, but a lot of Cardi's looks sometimes are recreations, so I can't really give it to them. But Misa and Kim, it was like pure originality and things that you just never seen before in ways that you've never seen it. And it was just so revolutionary and so before its time and so underappreciated. And I know sometimes they probably just got to sit back and was like, damn, we done did that. And they said this, that, and the third. We got this pushback. We got this critique. We got this. I don't think people realize how much Kim was critiqued, even just outside of how her surgeries, like, she got critiqued over everything. And again, I said this in a previous video where could you imagine getting critiques over everything that you did and then sitting back and watching another person get nothing but praise for the exact same thing that you did first? So it's like I always understood her anger, her animosity, her pushback to a lot of people, because it's like, it's one thing for me to get the pushback what I'm doing, but at some point y'all got to give me my flowers. But to completely critique me and then see another person and they're doing exactly what I did and you're acting like what they're doing is something original and they're the first person to do it, that's like a slap in the face and is absolutely insulting. But like I said, Kim, her jewelry, the jewelry game was A1, the fashion, the cameos, everything about Kim was just always high fashion. She had a contract with Wilhelmina Models. Just listen, I could go on all day about Kim. I can go all day about her. But if you take nothing else from this, just know that there would be no high fashion lane for Black women, especially Black urban women, without Lil Kim. That concludes today's episode of the evolution of Lil Kim. If you guys would like to shop my style boards, you can do that on LTK and Shop My. If you would like to book me for styling services, you can visit my website at www.ashleyaleah.com. If you would like to shop my boutique, you can visit me at www.richbitchcollection.com. Also help get me to 1,000 subscribers, guys, and my 4,000 watch hours so I can start making a coin off of this. All right, I will see you guys next episode.